emotions stronger than the storm. I am the host of I Am More Than Enough, period, where we talk about where we talk to real women that have gone through the storm but made them stronger. My special guest today uh, is Dana.
Hi,
Dan-
thanks for having me.
oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Dana Bosch, and I've been through some storms in my life,
Hmm.
a lot. So I'm now a holistic grief coach. Just launched a business called Rising Wisdom
Okay.
to assist other mothers who have gone through child loss. Yeah, so
Okay. So, can you tell us your story?
sure, I can. Loss, people dying, has been a theme in my life since I was quite young. Losing a lot of friends when we were teenagers in a small town I grew up in, and logging accidents and car accidents and weird accidents. On a house fire, a good friend. But we didn't get taught how to grieve or how to hold space, or, back then it was drinking. We just drank and hung out, and I'm sure we cried, but there was no processing or understanding of it from our parents or the community or anyone.
Hmm.
So then my dad got cancer right after I had a very bad car accident, and just before that, 2 years before my parents split up. So I was kind of going through it. 17 they split, 19 I crashed, 20 I'm taking care of my dad as he's dying of cancer at the age of 42. So I'm kind of a mess. And like I said, my parents were young, and nobody had tools. Nobody had skills. We weren't allowed to feel. I wasn't allowed to be angry. I wasn't allowed to be sad. I wasn't allowed to be hurt. So there was just no space to actually feel feelings. So I learned
You didn't
very
understand
young.
how to process it.
No, so I learned
Yeah.
very young how to, leave my body, how to bypass emotions, how to
Hmm.
push them down, and not unawares. I was very unaware until later. So then my dad passed, and that was really, really hard on me. A couple years later, I got married to someone that I should never have got married to. Had
Hmm.
2 kids, and then was a single mom at 26 with a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. And the hell of him didn't end for years, actually. Um, I let my kids go live with him for a little bit because I thought it would be fair. And then I didn't get them back because he had money and a house and another wife, 5 in total after all these years. Um, so I went through court battles, custody battles, and just that pain of not having my kids and all the lies he told, and it was just awful. Like I said, from teenage on, it was just so much. And then I met someone else, and who was also in some addiction. Not also me, but also my ex-husband was an alcoholic and narcissistic, abusive, whatever, all those things that we didn't have words for back then.
Hmm.
Gaslighting, well, yeah. Once you figured out what that was in the last 5, 10 years, I'm like, yes, I have experienced that. So there was no words for all those things. And I did start counseling at 26, and I did start getting shamanic body work with this kahuna shaman woman. And so that was good. So I was moving some energy. And
Hmm.
then in the 90s, I took Reiki and healing touch and reflexology. And so I always got healing sessions and body work, also from the pain from my car accident. And then, but I never really got professional therapy. Had a little bit of counseling in the beginning, but it was like, ugh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. So it took me a good 10 years to get over my dad's death. And in that 10 years, I went through that divorce and all the other crazy. So I grieved really hard because I missed my dad, especially through all of that.
Of course.
Um,
Let me ask you
yeah,
something. Was your husband older than you?
6 years. 6 years
So were
older.
you looking for stability?
He was a bit of a con and, just
Mm.
kind of swept me. I mean, I was in so much grief and
Yeah.
I didn't know. And, and I would have been the last one to have kids and get married that early. So, if my dad hadn't died, there's no way I would have. I was just a mess. Really didn't know. So,
You just
yeah,
wanted someone to be there for you.
yeah, and he wanted kids
Mhm.
really bad. And so that that was him. I mean, I
Mhm.
love my kids, but it just came with a lot of pain, honestly. Just
Mhm.
gonna take a drink. Mm. So yeah, a good 10 years of that. And then I met someone else and I was doing into the healing arts. And he was kind of in and out of his addiction. And then we had a baby. And right after that, he ended up in the psych ward when she was 3 months old. He had moved out when she was 3 months old. Then he ended up in the psych ward when she was 4 months old. And then he moved back to Quebec from BC, where I still live.
Mhm.
And I never saw him again. But 3 years later, I still did talk to him. I actually really loved him. And I talked to him on the phone one night, and he said he was worried that our daughter, would hate him when he's older. And I said, "What are you worried about? You're not even going to be around by then." I knew he wouldn't live long. His mom called me the next morning at 8:30 and said he was dead.
Wow.
Yeah. Excuse me. So that was, oh God, just more, right? So with my
Mhm.
dad's grief, I drank and I cried and I was just really stuck and not letting go and not accepting it and just like, I want my dad. And then when he left us and died, I just ignored it. I had a baby. I gotta I gotta live here, take care of her. So 7 years after he died or after he left us, I got a massage. I've had many, but this one woman was rubbing on my head and I was getting so irritated, so irritated. And I was almost going to jump off the table. And then all of a sudden I burst into tears, just burst into tears. And what came out of my mouth was, "I love you and you left me."
Mm.
I never processed that abandonment, that betrayal, that
Mhm.
grief. So much grief, right? Didn't
Mhm.
I had no space for it. And I still really didn't have tools for it either. So that one, and so I acknowledged that for a while and I realized I was still burying and carrying a lot because I was not open to relationship, anything. I was very wounded. And yeah, and then I've worked in the helping fields most of my life. I in the restaurant industry and then excuse me, and then I did spas, massage and healing, and then I taught yoga, and then I was a care aide, and then I did palliative care. I also worked in mental health group homes, recovery house, did a small stint in home with the homeless a few years back, and then became a death doula. So
Mm.
always helping people and, probably trying to get that love and care and support that I never got. I was
Yes,
never able to find or pay for.
I can relate.
So, yeah. Yeah,
I've
so and
been.
then I also okay.
Mhm. I was in the healthcare for 30 years,
Oh, were you?
and yeah, like you said, just caring for other people,
Mhm.
giving giving the love and the care to other people where you didn't get it,
No.
you know? So I get it. Hmm.
I remember, like, I would take on a client privately, not through a company, and palliative, so sometimes 5 months, 8 months, and I remember that feeling of, "Oh my god, they love me, they appreciate me so much." The person, the spouse, the kids, the extended family, I was just it was like, "Wow, I've never felt like this." You
Hmm.
know? So
No, I
appreciated,
do know.
and
Hmm.
yeah, so I did
You're
recognize
searching
that.
for that.
Mhm. But yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
so and then, 10 years ago, well, we'll back up. 14 years ago, I moved back to where I was from and where my son was living. So I had the two older kids, daughter and son. And then 10 years later, another daughter. So her and I were always on our own. And my son said, Mom, come live back here. I'm like, okay. So we hung out for a few years. And then he ended up in prison for an assault. And then I found out he was addicted to heroin. And he was a drug dealer in a small town. And he hated his addiction. He was trying to get rid of it. But while he was in prison, I moved up north to be with my older daughter and my two little grandsons. So again, just going where everybody needs me. You know, if I was married and whatever, this would never have happened. But I went, and I'm glad I did because I got to bond with my two little grandsons. And then I came back to Kelowna where I am now, and my son said, "Can we get a house together? I need help." I said, "Yes." So my youngest daughter was 15 and he was 25. Yeah. And we lived together for 4 to 6 months, and it was very difficult because he was fighting his addiction. And again, I kind of felt like a deer in the headlights. I didn't have the skills I have now. Excuse me. It was hard, and I'm parenting a teenager, and I didn't know what to do, but I did my best, and we did some holistic therapies. He did some floating and this and that, and anyways, then that ended, and then I went into I was still carried. Anyways, he came to visit us a lot, and he lived in town, and then he went back, and then he did plant medicine called iboga for opiate addiction. And he was supposed to come up here to be with me and my daughter after, and he didn't. So he used again. So he'd been to treatment a couple times. He'd done the plant medicine. He went back again. And then he came up in April and he said, "That's it. I'm getting rid of this business and I'm moving away, either up here or somewhere else. And I'm going to go back and do the plant medicine again." I said, "Yes. Okay. We're here for you." We were very close, my son and my youngest daughter and I. And then, so he went home. It was like April 26th, 7th. You know, I gave him a big hug and I wanted to take a picture so bad, but he wasn't feeling well. I thought, no, he'll be back, feeling better soon, and we'll take pictures. So that was the end of April. May 1st, he called me. He had just visited my brother and we had a good chat. And then I didn't text him or call him that week because he was packing, and Sunday was Mother's Day. So Mother's Day arrived and I didn't hear from him. And my daughter said, "Mom, I texted him yesterday and he didn't get back to me." His little sister, reminding him it's Mom's Day. So the next day I started calling friends. And by the 12th, I was scared to report him missing because um, I thought he was hiding. I knew like, he was involved with, in that, that energy of the drug world. So I was scared I would like blow his cover or whatever. I didn't know. I don't know what I was supposed to do, right? So by the 12th, I reported him missing to the Seashell RCMP, who did nothing, did nothing. And he's like, "Oh, he's in detox or something." I said, "No, he isn't. I would know." So meanwhile, I talked to the roommate and all his friends, and we believe that he was killed probably by friends. And so they did nothing. And then I just thought he was hiding. And then in November, I get a call on a November night. This is IHIT. IHIT is Integrated Homicide Investigation Team here in British Columbia. And we believe Dane has met with foul play and to be deceased. And I said, I don't know what I said. Actually, I just know what I thought. You guys are fucking idiots and you don't know anything. I don't remember any other conversation. Oh, they're putting him on the news the next day. So I suppose I was in shock. And so I did a post on Facebook because some people didn't even know he was missing. So then everybody thinks he's dead, and which he was, but I wasn't there yet. So then they start giving me condolences and people coming out of the woodwork. And I was like, no, he's not dead until I say he's dead. So they did not explain to me. I had to find out months later to sort of comprehend that if IHIT takes a case and calls it a murder investigation, they have some sort of evidence. They did not explain this to me at all. So I'm very angry still. about that whole situation. And anyways, I gave him a year. So on the year, it was Mother's Day, and I went to a sound bath. My friend's husband did the sound bath. She did automatic writing, and everybody asked questions. And I said, "When will I hear from my son?" And she channeled and said, "He's in a better place. He's healing, and he's this and he's that." And I was like, okay. Then she gave me the piece of paper. I went home, and at this time I had moved back to North Vancouver. I went home and I read it, and at the bottom it said, "He has risen. He is no longer of this earth." And then I went into full blown grief because I gave him a year and I got the message.
Confirmation.
Yeah. So I was working in the film industry and catering at the time. And so I just go to work in the morning and work for 4 hours, and then I'd go hiking and cry for a few hours. And then I went up to the Sunshine Coast where we're from and where he died and where he was born. And I organized a celebration of life on his birthday. So a year and 4 months later. And yeah, and then I moved back to Vancouver, and I just what kind of went through jobs and living situations, and nothing was working. So I went to Europe. I sold everything and I went to Europe for 6 months, and that was interesting. But at one point, I think, yeah, before I even decided he was really dead, I sat myself down and said, "Okay, we have been here before with my dad and with my daughter's dad, and now with Dane, my son. So how are we going to play this, Dana? What are you going to do? Because you didn't do very well the other two times, right?" And I have a lot of
Mhm.
tools, spiritual tools, and healing tools. And I'm like, okay, so I did. I thought, okay, number one, you have to accept. You have to accept it. Facts. Even though I have no
Yeah.
body, no conviction, and no belongings, they took all his belongings, right? Because he was moving, so they played on that whole situation. And I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to have peace if I don't let go, right? Control, holding on, causes suffering. I always tell women, when you're giving
Right.
birth, you have to let go, because if you hold on,
Right.
you're going to stop the process, and that's what causes the pain. It's like anything, it's the holding on that causes the pain. So I did, and of course, I went in and out of it, and um, yeah, so it's been 10 years, and there has been no body, no conviction. And finally, 2 years ago, I got a death certificate, which took me um, uh, finding the people to help me, because I wasn't about to pay a lawyer just to get a death certificate. I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. And no. So I finally found the right help, had to apply to the court. And then I had to apply to the court to be administrator of his estate. And I had to do a will search and all the things. And then I had to let his dad know. So he opposed my application, which delayed it another year, three court appearances, and finally I was granted, just to deal with a couple bank accounts and do the taxes and just finish whatever I could finish, right?
Right.
So, and then last May, on the 10-year mark, I had a plaque made, and my daughters and I went up to the cemetery where my dad's ashes are, that I put there, and put the plaque down beside my dad. And that's
Mm.
where we're at today.
Mm. When you heard the news, were you by yourself or was someone there with
Just
you?
my daughter,
Your
my
daughter
younger
was there.
daughter. She was 17. Yeah, it was very, very hard on her, because her brother was like, dad, brother, good friend. They
Of
loved
course.
him. Yeah, they were
Hmm.
really close.
How is she doing today?
Well, she's covered in tattoos.
Yes.
So when you see someone covered in tattoos, you know they've been through pain. They've been through it.
Yes.
And she's a
Hmm.
tattoo artist. But she's okay. It's been a long, hard. We kind of did it on our own, It's pretty much an
Right.
inward journey. So because I've started a podcast and I'm interviewing other mothers who have lost a child. And, most of them had support, or they had a partner, or their best friend flew out and stayed with them. But Mine was, and I had friends. I had good friends that were around, and they were great. But family, not so much. I mean, and a lot of other people, they just kind of ignore you. I don't know. So, no casseroles, no flowers, nothing. Just kind of left.
But what you
Um,
know what? I think people don't know what to say, what to do,
oh,
so they
they do
stay
not.
away.
They do not. And nobody has the capacity, nobody has the tools. And I got really angry at some friends for stupid shit they said. And then I realized I cannot have an expectation of anybody, anyone, because nobody has the tools, the capacity, or, so I learned early on, I'm like, okay, this is an inside job. And it probably would have been useful to have a therapist or counselor, but I mean, I've also taken counselor training and coaching training. So, and I'm intuitive. So, I don't know if it would have helped or not, but and I went to a group, I went to another group, and then I was in so much grief I couldn't drive to the group I wanted to go for, murdered kids and um did some stuff online, but not much. And now that I'm actually starting to share my story and going on TikTok and Instagram, I'm like, oh my God, there's all these mothers sharing stuff. I was never on TikTok. I didn't even search for support in that way. Mind you, it's just
Yeah.
like grief, 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 grief. And I choose to live. I choose to hike and be in nature, and I choose to be
Mhm.
happy. My son would not want me laying in bed. And I know I was depressed for sure. I never did lay in bed actually, but I definitely was low level depressed. Had to be.
Right.
Um, and then, oh, and actually at what, 5, 6 years ago, I found plant medicine. When I got back from Europe, it landed at the house I was staying at. So I did some journeys with plant medicine from
Mhm.
Mexico and a shaman from Mexico, and then called Tepescohuite, which is very cool. And oh, and actually in 2014, I did 3 nights of ayahuasca. That's when I was living with Dane. And then I went on to do some other plant medicines and mushroom journeys. Anyways, that was my therapy. That
Mhm.
helped me
What
get
is
a lot.
what is ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca, it's a plant, it's a root,
Mhm.
and you drink
Mhm.
it and you hallucinate, but it shows you. It
Mhm.
shows you things. I mean, it's different for everybody, but you
Right.
journey and you see. It's like you get the connection to source and to your higher self and to all that is, and you go, "Whoa, that's what it's all about."
Mhm.
And
And it helped you?
yes,
Good.
yeah, and I screamed in one of them. I screamed and cried like so deeply. And again, in one of the mushroom journeys, oh my God. And in, like tears just jutting out. So it was coming from deep within, just really clearing and releasing. Yeah, that was
It
my
was for
therapy.
your son. It was for your son. It was for your father. It was for your
Mhm.
friend and everyone else.
It was. Well, that's the thing. Every time you have
Yeah.
a trauma or a loss, it compounds and it brings up all of them, all the unprocessed. So, what I want to teach, I do want to talk about how do you talk to people? And if you can't, just don't say anything, please. But
Right.
we need to be educated. We're very poor at death. We're very poor at grief.
Mhm.
It's not been acknowledged or talked about. Hmm. So
And
that
people
is,
do say dumb things.
oh, stupid, dumb, and and on TikTok, there's tons of people. We all say the same thing. So I will write a book hopefully next year. And I also, so I'm doing the interviews with the other mothers. So other mothers that are, really in it and scared and thinking it'll never end, have some hope
Mhm.
because, a lot of people do something with their grief and I didn't till now. I mean, it's taken me 10 years and I wanted to. There's a course I'm going to offer, consciously navigating grief and loss, consciously.
Mhm.
So, but I just couldn't do it. And I guess I had to find, well, I had to do those other things too, the unfinished business. And I don't know, everybody in their own time, right? Some people lose a child and they
Right.
jump right into charity work and a foundation and this and that. And I mean, and that's a way to keep going as well, right? And
Mhm.
I don't know. We all do what we do.
You should do a TikTok on stupid questions.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, I've heard some stupid questions that I look at them like, really,
Well, and then we
you
end up
know?
taking care of them. So I'm the one in pain and grieving, and I'm protecting your feelings and your
Yes,
because, right? We don't want them to
right,
feel, oh, good Lord, I'm
right.
so over it. So over it. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
on a mission now. I'm excited about the podcast. It hasn't launched yet. I've done a few interviews and have a few more lined up. And
let me
it's called
know
I
what it's
will,
going to be called.
Rising Wisdom with Dana.
Rising.
Because I don't
Okay.
wanna just talk about the grief, I wanna talk about the growth and then, out of anything you've experienced in life, it doesn't have to be a loss of a child. I mean, some people go into as much grief over a divorce because it just shatters them, So
Hmm.
it doesn't matter what it is that shatters you, you gotta get out of it. You gotta learn how to
You got to
walk
get
with
up.
it. But yeah,
Yeah.
like, I mean, and I just don't believe that anybody on the other side or wherever you think they are would want their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, their lover, their partner to be sad and be a
Yeah.
victim. Some people just take on the
Yeah.
victim role like it's a badge of honor. No
Hmm.
thanks.
Right.
Yeah,
No, I
because that
believe
just
you.
keeps you stuck,
You know,
stuck in suffering, right?
right. You got to and we're not talking about 6 months, a year. We
No,
know it's going to take time,
takes
but you
years.
still got to live your life. Yeah, it
Gotta
takes
live.
years.
Mhm.
And there's no number of years, but
No.
it will kill you. If you keep laying in the bed and keep thinking like what happened, you're not
Mhm.
living.
You're looping,
You're
and it
really
will kill
killing
you
yourself.
because all of those emotions
Yeah,
get stuck in our body, and do you know what happened 3 years ago to
yeah.
me? I was doing massage at Sparkling Hill Resort, and, my knee swelled up, and then my shoulder froze, and then one night, my whole body and I had to go to emergency. My inflammation marker was
Hmm.
at 76. I've never been in so much pain in my life, and I
Hmm.
had to go on prednisone, which I hate, pharmaceutical drugs, but thank God for it because, oh my God. So it was months with the knee and the shoulder, couldn't move, months, and then I got a rash on my arms, 16 months before that went away. So that is the body going, it's gonna come out one way or another, and it shuts you down too, right? Stops you. You gotta slow
I
down,
was
slow
just
your
about to
roll.
say it shows up
You gotta feel
in
it
many
to
ways.
heal it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
got to
gonna be
feel
in
it to
there.
heal it. I love
You
it.
do. You do. You have to feel it to heal it. It's not you can't just talk about it. It's like when it comes, this is what I tell people grieving. Don't like, "Oh, I'm at the grocery store. Oh, I'm" no, no, let it roll. Like, don't push it away. It's here now, honor it, respect it. This is important.
Yes.
It's sacred. Those tears are
Hmm.
sacred. And it has to be
Yes.
felt, it has to be honored. So and, we always, like, worry about other people, "Oh, I don't wanna upset them. It's at the dinner table or la family event." I don't really care
Right.
anymore. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's some good advice.
Yes, it is.
Really, you got to feel it to heal it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And just make space for
So
it, and yeah, it's not pretty, and
yeah.
it is painful, like, your heart actually hurts, I'll never forget. I don't anymore, it doesn't hurt, so that's the good news, like, people say time heals, well, is it time or is it getting used to it and sort of processing it, because it takes time to process, so it's not actually time that heals, but what you do with that time can help you heal.
Mhm.
'Cause there is life after
Right.
loss. I mean, anything. You have other
Yeah.
children or not, you have other people, you have your passion. What does your soul wanna do in this life? And this we say these things happen for a reason, and some people hate that. Um, but
Mhm.
they do. I mean, you might not
I
know the
truly
reason
believe
for
that.
10 years.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he pushed me. This time it was like, "Okay, no, you have to step up and step into who you really are. No more hiding." So here I am.
Yeah. So, did you write a book?
I'm going to next year. Yeah.
Okay.
Next year is a 5-year for me in numerology, so it's
Yeah.
perfect. And I just feel ready. It's finally I don't know how it's gonna come through. I mean, I'm hoping it's just channeled because I'm not a writer, but
Mm.
it will. It'll come through.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's going to come, and it's just going to flow. The right
It has
words are
to.
going to come to you.
Yeah.
So, so tell me, you started your foundation?
Yeah, just it's an online business, so, yeah, holistic grief coach, so one-on-one coaching, 6-week course I'm gonna launch for September, the first one. I have a retreat booked for the end of September for 4 mamas to come together and get healings with me and do yoga and sound baths and then some, ritual and process of grief drumming and just really nurturing and connecting. I love
I
group
love
work. I
it.
love ceremonial work. I've journeyed a lot with plant medicine, but has also co-facilitated and facilitated with some other medicines I work with. So, and I just love that because people's hearts are open. And
Hmm.
I don't want to be around people who are lying or hiding or it's just I just my being doesn't have time for
Be
that
free.
anymore. Right? So I
Yes.
love it when people are in their truth and in their heart, and that's the energy
Hmm.
I wanna be around.
Freedom.
Real. That's why I loved, when people were dying, they're so real, and I can talk with them and have the conversations, like, "Are you ready? How where are you what are you feeling? What are you afraid of?" I
Hmm.
ask them, no
Yeah.
problem. Mhm.
So, okay, so your website, what is your website?
Risingwisdom.ca.
Okay. And your social media platform, because we
Oh,
know you on TikTok.
I am. Dane's mama. Dane's dot
Ooh,
mama. Mumma. Everybody says mama, M-A-M-A, but it's mama. And he started calling me mama when he saw Bambi. When he was little,
yeah.
and the little did Bambi
Uh,
called its mom mama. And he started, he was like a year old or whatever. I don't know. So Dane's mama on
I'm gonna put
TikTok and
that.
on, hmm?
Uh, I'm gonna put that in the description. Hmm.
Okay. And then
The
on
TikTok. Mhm.
Instagram, it's Dana_rising wisdom. And then same as YouTube. I've
Well,
started a channel. I just haven't put anything there yet, but I will. I'm
okay.
getting there.
And what is it on
Uh, You
on
YouTube, I think it's
Facebook?
Dana. Oh, Facebook is Rising Wisdom. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not
And
really
your
good at
YouTube?
all the posting and the social media. I hired someone to do some of it, but I still have to collab with her
Okay.
and figure it out. But I'm
Hmm.
gonna get there, start doing lives and
Oh, I love it.
yeah,
Well, I want to subscribe to your YouTube channel. What is it again?
Rising Wisdom. Dana
Okay.
underscore Rising Wisdom. Yeah, I just made it. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a work
I
in
still
progress
can
and
subscribe.
mhm.
Well, Dana, thank you for coming on. I really am thankful for you, sharing your story, sharing your wisdom, and I wish you many blessings on your journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
You're welcome. And I'm going to go on your TikTok because it
Oh,
seems like you're having fun over there.
yeah. Well, I got to start going live and I will. It's just not my favorite thing, but if I want to be a speaker and share, like I love going on podcasts and talking in podcasts, but just those little
Mhm.
clips, we're supposed to do. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Well, it's all good. Thank you again, everyone. Please like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, and we will connect every Monday with amazing women in their story. Dana, thank you again. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you. You have a great day too.
Okay. You too. Bye.